Why did black codes use the 13th Amendment to re-enslave? Imagine a law that was meant to end slavery but was twisted into a tool to keep black Americans under control. That's what happened after the 13th Amendment was ratified in 1865. This amendment officially abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. It was a huge victory, but Southern states quickly found a way to work around it. They created laws called black codes to limit the freedom of black people and keep white dominance alive. Black codes were based on the old slave codes that controlled enslaved people before the Civil War. After slavery ended, lawmakers used the exception clause in the 13th Amendment, allowing involuntary servitude as punishment for a crime to create new forms of forced labor. They made vague laws against vagrancy, loitering, or not signing yearly labor contracts. If black people were accused of these offenses, they could be arrested and fined. If they could not pay the fine, they were often forced to work off their debt for private employers or on public projects. This was a way to re-establish a system similar to slavery, but under a different name. States like Mississippi and South Carolina made it a crime for black people to be unemployed or without a permanent address. Those convicted could be arrested, fined, and then leased out to work to pay off their fines. Black children from poor families could be taken from their homes and apprenticed to white employers, often their former enslavers. Black Americans faced restrictions on jobs, property ownership, and even their rights to carry firearms or testify in court against white people. These laws were not applied equally to white citizens, which showed they were meant to control black people and keep the old social order in place. The black codes directly challenged the idea of freedom in the 13th Amendment. While the amendment ended slavery legally, Southern states used the loophole, imprisonment for crimes, to keep black people in a form of bondage. This legal trick was a way for former Confederates to undermine black freedom and reassert white supremacy. The fight against these laws became a key part of the Reconstruction era, as black Americans and their allies pushed for real emancipation and equal rights. The backlash in the North against black codes helped lead to the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments, which aimed to guarantee citizenship, equal protection under the law, and voting rights for black Americans. Early efforts like the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and the work of the Freedmen's Bureau tried to protect black people from these oppressive laws. Still, the black codes and later Jim Crow laws showed that the struggle for true freedom was ongoing and difficult. The story of black codes is a reminder of how legal systems can be manipulated to serve the interests of those in power. Black communities fought back through organizing, petitions, and building their own institutions. Leaders like Frederick Douglass spoke out against these injustices, and everyday black Americans resisted by asserting their independence and creating schools and communities. Their efforts laid the groundwork for future civil rights movements. Looking at this history shows us that legal changes alone are not enough to guarantee freedom. The 13th Amendment ended slavery in name, but black Americans had to keep fighting through courts, politics, and community action to make that freedom real. The black codes reveal how old systems of oppression can change from but still threaten progress. Their legacy lived on in Jim Crow laws and other forms of racial discrimination, but black Americans kept pushing forward. Their resilience and resistance are a vital part of the ongoing story of fighting for justice and equality in America.